What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are going to be building out the ultimate link bracket. We're going to start off with this standard heavy-duty aftermarket control arm bracket and transform it into something that can handle whatever we want to throw at it off-road. There's a few easy fabrication tips and tricks that can maximize the strength of these brackets, and really everything that we're going to cover in this video applies to any bracket that you're building on an off-road vehicle. Let's get started. I'm gonna try to break this down as easy as possible. Your control arm brackets or your link mounts are the brackets that are welded either on the chassis or the axle side, and it holds your axle in place with the control arm. From the factory, most link mounts are pretty thin metal, so a popular upgrade is to get some heavy-duty control arm brackets online, weld them in place, and boom, these are less likely to rip off-road. These specifically are universal link mounts from Barnes 4-wheel drive. They offer an offset angle, a 9/16 bolt hole, and their 1/4-inch steel. Very nice link bracket. These within themselves are already an upgrade compared to the factory ones. But we don't have to stop there. There's a few key areas on these brackets where once you start stepping up to large tires, high horsepower, or faster speeds, where these brackets can be further improved. So what we can do with a few tricks is make this bracket much stronger with only a few more pieces of metal. We have a weld washer, a nut catcher, and inside some half moon keepers for our heim joint. All of these add minimal weight, but really increase the strength of this bracket. So there's a few things we're trying to avoid here. The most obvious one is we don't want brackets ripping out of place. Luckily, just moving over to a heavy-duty bracket like this is gonna solve a lot of those issues. It's thicker, it's gonna take hits better, and the weld surface area is actually increased compared to our factory brackets. And if we need, we can weld on gussets as well, which I plan to do. So the second issue is bolt holes wallowing out. Over time, just from impacts, or if you have a loose bolt, this hole can start wallowing out and getting egg-shaped. Once that happens, there's slop. You really can't fix it unless you swap to a new bracket or some of these things that I'm about to show you over here. The third issue is actually bending bolts. Now, we have upgraded from 9/16 to 5/8 on our heim joint bolts, but the last race, both of our lower control arm bolts were bent. Not very fun to remove those because without a grinder, there's no way to do it. So not a big deal here in the shop, but if we were ever in the scenario where we had to change a heim joint out on the trails and that bolt's bent, we're not getting it out unless we cut it. What fixes all of these issues? Well, it's kind of a trifecta of parts that help accomplish the same goal. So the weld washer is by far the most simple upgrade we can do. Barnes 4-wheel drive has an assortment of different weld washers. We have our standard weld washer that just increases the material thickness where our bolt goes through. Now over on this side, we have a hex capture washer. This solves two issues. One, oh, we actually have one right here too. It makes sure that this nut can never get loose. It's not gonna spin, there's nowhere for it to go. So this is gonna help us maintain our bolt torque. But what it also does is acts as a keeper, preventing any side-to-side movement in the bolt. Now inside the bracket here is something I've never seen before and something I think is going to be probably the biggest upgrade for this bracket. This is a little half moon cutout that made over at the shop with Offroad Addiction. These things are designed around the 5/8 misalignment spacer, and the idea here is to pocket the heim joint misalignment spacer so the load is on the body of the joint opposed to only the bolt. So now we shouldn't be bending any more bolts. This is all theoretical. I've never done this before, but it's a fantastic idea, and I think it's exactly what we need. Well, that was a lot of yapping. Short and sweet, these three items combined should make the ultimate link bracket. Let's make the next one. Before we start the fun stuff, we're gonna have to modify this bracket to work with our axle. It's shipped with 9/16 bolt holes. We're gonna have to open those to 5/8. And the axle tube, this is designed for 3 1/4-inch axle tubes. We're gonna have to open it up to 4-inch. So we just find something that has a 4-inch diameter, and we're gonna just kind of look at the cope, and I'm only gonna take off the minimal amount needed. So between there and there is where we're just gonna slowly grind this until we get a nice 4-inch cope. We want our bracket to sit nice and flush on the axle tube. These copes are extremely important. You don't want to take away too much material, so just cut a little bit at a time away until it's nice and flush. The bolt is drilled out to 5/8, so we are good to go. Now, one thing in regards to bolts, when you are building suspension, it's important to match the shank to your bracket. What that means is you might have to buy a longer bolt and cut it down. You just don't want the threads of the bolt passing through the bracket. You want this nice smooth shank. That's where the bolt's the strongest and it's not going to wallow out your bracket. So find the shank, even if the bolt's long, you just cut it short. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is there are repair weld washers. So if your bracket's already been wallowed out, it's a little bit too big for the bolt, Barnes 4-wheel drive has these repair weld washers where you actually drill the bracket bigger and then place this inside and weld it. And that's gonna fix that nasty hole with a nice clean machined hole. They also have threaded repair washers, which you can do the same thing, and it's a nice way to have a threaded boss in there. We're gonna stick our weld washer on one side, our nut capture plate, and we are gonna tighten this down. It's wild to see how loose this lock nut has got. This was a Class C lock nut, and it's actually like tapered on the end to grab. But as you can tell, this has been loosened and tightened a few times to where this nut is no longer any good. Then we're just gonna snug it up with a little bit of tension. Now before we weld these up, I like spraying all these brackets down with anti-spatter spray. Doesn't interfere with your welds, but you won't get spatter stuck inside the brackets, and it really helps the welds work good. And lastly, we throw our heim joint in the bracket. We're gonna grab our little support clips, half circles, whatever we wanna call them, and position it inside the bracket in a way where we can still remove the heim joint. This is going to pocket it so it can't move up, can't move forward, can't move down. I'm gonna have to put a little bit of an angle on it so we can still pull the control arm up and out. Hold it in place and give it a tack. And of course, we want to make sure that this does not interfere with any misalignment of the heim joint, which it doesn't. And then we finish it off with some welds. It is extremely satisfying with how well this joint snaps into the bracket. And just like that, we are all finished up. Now the next step is to take these brackets and weld them onto the axle. But I got a little too carried away in making this video that I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I welded these things on backwards. Now, it's not exactly backwards, but it's not how I want them, so unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to move forward in this video. But the next step would be to measure the width on how far we wanna space these brackets apart, find our angle and weld them in, or at least tack them. But one thing I did forget is that these brackets are angled. This is the bracket for our driver side. I welded the nut stopper, nut catcher on the outboard side, and our weld washer on the inboard side. That's not gonna work because I want the bolt to go this way so we have room away from the diff. So this is backwards. We could use this as the bolt head and put it in, but sometimes it's nice being able to put an impact on there and draw the bolt out with the impact. So unfortunately, I might have to start all the way over with this side. See what I'm talking about? It angles in and we have to remove the bolt outwards. Well, at least you can learn from my mistake and make sure you double check which side you are welding these brackets onto. In the end, not a huge deal, but situations like this, I wanna make sure it's perfect. I guess we will get another one of these on order and build it out. We're waiting on other brackets anyways for the axle. So now is a good stopping point. I just wanted to make this video, show you guys really how to beef up your control arm brackets. And as always, we do have a discount code with Barnes 4-wheel drive. I'll put it in the video description. Saves you 10% off an order, so make sure to check it out. It's once per year, so make sure it's actually worth it when you place the order. But that is it for this video, guys. I was hoping the other brackets would be in so we could finish off the axle, but that's gonna have to hold off until another video. Thanks for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully you learned something new. See you later.